Froze again. You gotta love it. Technology is an absolute wonderful thing. Modern technology is, and it's absolutely wonderful when it works perfectly every time. Anywho, I do believe I am live. It's Wednesday. Hello, everybody. You're all very welcome to Wednesday's live call inside the Facebook group Map Your Future ABA. The place where we go from A to B and then we decide we're going to go for a bigger and brighter A. Later today, this call will also be in my YouTube channel at Anthony Beale 2024. Anyway, you're all very welcome. Over the last while, I've been saying that I will share real strategies that can make an impact on your life when you use them. Strategies I personally use myself, methods that help to create positive habits, help improve results, help with a sense of well being, physical and mental, and help kick you into action to achieve your goals. And I want everybody to have their best life, be their best version of themselves, to grow and go after the life that they really want. These strategies will help with that. They'll also help to weather the storms that life seems to send us all from time to time, the crises we all experience as we get to our next levels of awareness. Now, without having well being and peace in our lives, peace of mind, we're not really living. But how do we create well being and peace? I've shared some ways to start that process over the last few weeks, and I'm going to share a few more today. The quick answer is clarity and choice. Choose what you really want in your life. Choose how you want to be, choose what you want to do, choose what you want to have in your life. Then you start thinking more and more about what you want. You dwell on what you want. You get emotionally involved with it. And you step out and you take action towards it. And you stop wasting time and energy thinking about what you don't want. When you dwell on what you want, you get emotionally involved in it. As in, you start to feel what would it be like to be, do, and have the life that you want. And using the power of repetition, thinking more and more and more about what you want, getting emotionally involved, feeling it. When you do that, you compel yourself to act. You take action towards what you want. You step up and out of your comfort zone. This starts a chain reaction where you create the life that you actually want to live. Your thoughts create your feelings. Your feelings create the actions, and the actions create the reactions. The reactions then create the circumstances, the conditions, and the environment, also known as results. You've heard me say that before, and you will hear me say it again and again. Repetition really is the mother of success. The repeating of ideas until you fully understand them helps you to apply them. Until you understand something, you won't apply it. Okay? Now, it all starts with the thoughts you are thinking, the dominating thoughts you habitually think. This is cause and effect. When you look after the causes, the thoughts, feelings, and actions, the effects take care of themselves, the reactions and the results. All we can manage is ourselves, our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions. That's all we can manage. So that's where we should focus. Now, there is no shortage of ways to create better thoughts. Thinking better is always the first step to creating a better life. Always has been, always will be. And one way to develop the habit of thinking a bit better is to develop the habit of daily gratitude. This starts each day on a positive note. It puts you into a positive vibration. Another is to think on paper, to journal your thoughts, which helps you to identify thought patterns and process emotions. You become aware of triggers, habitual reactions, and beliefs. Learning how to let things go is a really big thing. Learning how to forgive others and ourselves and doing it faster. This creates a space for new ideas. Another way is to learn how to reevaluate and replace beliefs and habits and work out which ones are serving you and which ones aren't. Guaranteed, some habits are working very well for you and some beliefs are as well, but also guaranteed some are not. I've already spoken on these topics in previous calls, which are all in the feature section on the in the group page and on the YouTube channel as well. And if you haven't seen those, I would really encourage you to see them. Now, learning to manage yourself is one of the most important things you can learn to do. You can choose your state, how you want to be, and you can choose how you want to act in any given situation. However, planning that in advance helps to improve it and to reprogram yourself, your self image. I always remember hearing many, many years ago the worst time to try and say the best thing is at the time you're trying to say it. In other words, the more you prepare to be your best version of you, thinking, feeling, and acting, the better you will be your best version of you in your own life. The self image is a major part of the paradigm, the conditioning, the program every one of us as human beings has. The paradigm, as I explained in previous calls, is a collection of your habits, beliefs, and behaviors that is stored. It's a program that's stored in your subconscious mind that controls your habitual behavior. And get this, almost all behavior is habitual. 95 to 97% of our behavior is controlled by the paradigm. The self image is a major part of that. When you upgrade, reprogram your self image, so many things will change with that. The self image is what you think about you, and it dictates how you behave in your life. And your behavior, of course, leads to what comes into your life. The self image is the key to human personality and human behavior. Change the self image, and you change the personality and the behavior. Dr. Maxwell Maltz said that. Dr. Maltz really created the concept of self image psychology. In 1960, Dr. Maltz, a cosmetic surgeon, came out with a book called Psycho-Cybernetics, psyche being the Greek for mind, and cybernetics being the science of control and communication in some machine and animals. And basically, what Malta discovered is as he was repairing damage to people, so they may have a nasty scar or they might have had a big nose and they wanted a nice button nose, whatever that is, and he corrected it. What he had noted is sometimes after the correction was made, their personality shifted completely. And this led him to think about things about, okay, well, why was that happening? But then he also noticed that sometimes when the disfigurement were changed or the nose was fixed, the personality didn't change at all. And that led him to realize we have two images. We have one on the outside that we show the world and one on the inside. And the premise is you've got a control mechanism in your mind, and it's going to determine what comes into your life and it's going to determine how well you do whatever it is that you do. It's referred to the self image. At its most basic, your self image is how you view you. It is your opinion of yourself. It's the kind of person you think you are. It is your perception. It is how you judge yourself and others. If you think for a second, you can never outperform your self image. This is what happens in New Year's. We make a new resolution, we work for a while, we change our behavior, and a couple of weeks later, we come back. That's the self image in action because we haven't reprogrammed the self image. We haven't become the person that does the new behavior. Okay. So you can never outperform your self image, but you can reprogram it. And whether you're aware of it or not, you are programmed, you are conditioned. It's called a paradigm, and everybody has one. Now, there are many ways to reprogram the self image, creating a new one. I'm going to share some ideas with you today, right this second. You can use the your life as a movie script technique. This is where you consider your life as it is as a movie. So you consider that your life is represented by a movie. You are the casting agent, you're the director, the writer, you've got the finances and producing it. Using this idea that your life is a movie script, you write out your life as a script, as a movie. Who are the characters? What's going on? Are you the main star or the extra? And you put as much detail as you can in that. Are you an extra in your own life? This helps form awareness around how things are. It helps you to see things from a different perspective, which means you gather awareness and you can do something about it. And it's important then that you're able to accept things as they are. Buckminster Fuller said, you can't change by fighting the existing reality. You can only change by making a new model that makes the old model obsolete. So in our lives, when we're looking at our results and we're all bent out of shape and we're fighting and we're putting all our energy into something that's already done. But when you can accept as you are, you can then do something about it. Only by accepting things as they are can we change and improve them. Then you use the exact same process. This time, you write out your movie script as you would like it to be. How would you really love to be in your life? How would you love to be? What would you love to be doing? How would you like to behave? And you write that out in as much detail. This is your new script of you, exactly as you want to be. Once you have that written out, you visualize the scene as happening. Now, to program your new script into your mind, you will need to visualize and you need to use it on a repetitive nature. And I'm going to go into the visualization in depth and affirmation techniques to show you how to do that next week. Okay. But in the meantime, write out your script, how you are, so you can get awareness and be able to accept it, so you can build on it, and how you want to be. Another method is the what are my favorite characteristics of myself and others technique. This is where you think and you really think about parts of you that you really like about yourself. And then you pick two or three people that you really admire and you consider what characteristics they have that you like. Now, this might sound strange. I found this exercise very difficult when I first did it because when I first did this, I didn't really like myself. And it took me, which I'll share methods next week, of how I was able to like myself more and change beliefs around myself. Because that's what all this work is about. It's about changing habits, changing beliefs, changing how you see yourself. Because when you do those things, you're going to act differently. And when you act differently, you're going to get different results. Thought, feeling, action equals reaction, results. Change the thought, feeling, and action, you change the reaction and results. That's what we're hoping to do. But here's the kicker, you're a creature of habit. We all are. 95 to 97% of our behavior is habitual. And we got to learn how to change that, to change the paradigm. Anyway, what you do is you pick three things that you like about yourself, and then you look at two or three people you admire, and you pick things in their character that you like. Here's the thing, you couldn't be aware of the characteristics in others if you don't share the same characteristics. These characteristics might not be as developed in you as much as theirs yet, but you do have them. You wouldn't be able to notice the characteristics if you didn't share them. So you write out a description of the you as you would be with all of these traits that you admire. Now, you're not copying the person, you're looking at the traits of the person and you want to adopt them into your own image of yourself. Image of yourself, self image. And you do that as detailed as possible as well. Okay? A simple way then to start the process of reconditioning yourself or reprogramming yourself, enhancing your self image is this: ask daily, how do I want to be today? And really answer that question. What kind of mood do you want to be in? How do you want to feel? And then you follow that question up with, how do I want to act today? So, how do you want to behave? How do you want to respond today in work or at home with your family? How do you want to do today, whatever it is you do? At what level do you want to do it? Then, and this is really important, and it's straight out of psycho-cybernetics from my good friend Maxwell Maltz, you mentally rehearse. Okay? And what mentally rehearsing is you see in your imagination being as you want to be and doing things as you want to do them. You let yourself imagine yourself as you would like to be, doing the things in the way you want to do them. And I can tell you, by the way, the first couple of times that you do this, your mind is going to go off on tangents. That's okay. Bring it back, refocus, bring it back, refocus. That's developing your will. Now, you get to choose. You can choose how you want to be and act. The more you put into this exercise every day, the more you start to become the person who you want to be, doing things as you want to do them. You start becoming your best version of you. And your best version of you is already there. Sometimes on any given day at some particular time, you're in flow. Things just seem to happen. Everything works out the way you want it to. But know this, that state of being can become more regular and more normal when you work on yourself. Okay? Now, goals. Research suggests only around 8% of people who set big goals actually achieve the goal. Other research has it as 13%, and some as low as 3. Now, there are many reasons for this, and let me share some of the reasons why people don't achieve their goals. Number one, they don't have the right mindset straight off the bat. Then they don't believe it's possible, or they have belief on two levels. I explained about belief last week. They don't have the space in their mind to entertain new ideas. It's so clogged up with the past. They're carrying too much of the past, not bothering to reprogram their mind is another thing. Here's the thing, you cannot expect different results if you don't do something different. If you do the same thing you've always done, you're going to get the same outcome you've always got. Consider the calls that we've done over the last number of weeks. Gratitude is a great way to start each day positively setting your mind. Journaling helps you to uncover the process and process your thoughts and your feelings. Forgiveness helps to let things go and create mental space for new ideas. Uncovering and replacing beliefs and habits helps you to respond as you want to. And programming a new self image helps you to perform as your best version of you more and more often. Working with an experienced mentor or coach speeds all this up. But to have something you want that you don't have, you must do something different. To do something different, you must be something different. That's where all of these calls are about to help you be like the person that you want to be, your best version of you. Okay. So let's assume for a moment that you've done all of that. And now you can really focus on the big changes you want to make because you know it's possible because you've made some changes already in your life and you want to go for it. The best way I know to do that is to set a target, a goal to focus the mind, to focus and harness the mind to achieve what you want to achieve. My mentor, Bob Proctor, was the world's leading expert on human development and goal achievement. And he always used to talk about the ABCs of goals. And Bob would always say goals separate into A's, B's, and C's. So A type goals are doing something you already know how to do. Those are what are known as sideways goals. You're not going forward and you're not going backwards. You're going sideways. You're not going anywhere really. And it's kind of like, let's say you changed jobs, but you went for a job that's pretty much the exact same at the exact level of pay with the exact same responsibility. Okay. There's no growth in that. Now, I'm not saying don't do it because a change sometimes can be as good as a rest, but there's no growth in it. Okay. And then let's say you're going on a holiday and you're going to, let's say, Lanzarote, and you go every year for the last 10 years and you put that as a goal. Again, there's zero growth in that as a goal because you've done it before. You know how to do it. There's no growth. And goals are for us to grow. They're not for us to get, they're for us to grow to get to our next level of awareness and our next level of performance. Then we B type goals. So these are goals you think you can achieve. It's kind of like if so and so happens, and if I can bring John together and Mick together and Sarah together, and all these things just happen together, then yeah, I can achieve this particular goal. Now, there's no inspiration in B type goals, the creating the big plan. Okay. You get going with the plan, and then there's a few bumps in the road, and the plan gets abandoned. Now, again, I'm not saying don't go for a B type goal. I'm just saying there's no inspiration in it. But C type goals are different. Those are your wants, what you really want. And this is where you need to be really honest with yourself. What do you really want? C type goals come from your dreams, from your imagination. There's something that really inspires you. You smile thinking about the possibility of it. It scares you and excites you at the same time because you know it's big. And right now, it could be considered a fantasy. And that's then you know you're on the right track if it is. Life at best is short, okay? When I work with people, I always encourage them to go after their C type goals. And through the program, that I work with my clients on, I help them to move from somebody who might consciously believe it or not believe it to somebody that's actually making it happen. So to grow, we need to have something to look forward to. We need something that will make us to step up and step out of our comfort zone, something that makes us jump out of the bed. If you're not jumping out of the bed to get going on something, you're not living. That's a harsh reality. And I can tell you, I spent long enough where I found it very hard to get up out of the bed in the morning. You really need to think about what do you really want in your life. Life is not a dress rehearsal. It really isn't. Write this down: 4,269. 4,269. That's the average life expectancy in Ireland in weeks. Ask how many of my weeks are gone? How many are left? Decide what you want and get working on it. If you let this represent your life for a moment, the bottom is the past, the top is the future. You have no clue how much of this you have left. All we have is now. So let's assume you know your goal. And if you don't and you need help with that, reach out to me. But let's assume that you know your goal. When you have a goal, you want to repeatedly think about it every day to program it. Where's my little friend? From your conscious mind into your subconscious mind. You remember thought, feeling, action. Because until it's in here, we won't step out and take action on it, which means we can't make it happen. So you want to write it out, read it, affirm it, imagine it. The more of these things you do, the more you're programming your mind to accept your goal, to believe it's possible, and you start to believe it subconsciously, meaning you take action towards it. You repeatedly do this, you go out, you take action, and you start making things happen. You will start stepping out of your comfort zone and take action. Remember, thoughts create the feelings. Feelings move us to act. Our actions, the behavior creates reactions, and the reactions create our results. So let's kick into action. To condition your mind every day, write your goal out on top of a blank piece of paper. You start with, I am so happy and grateful now that, and you write out whatever you want to be, do, and have there. But you start with, I am happy, because you want to evoke feelings. And you want to be grateful because you want to be thankful that your goal is happening, that it's coming to you. When you have written out your goal, ask what you can do today to progress towards your goal faster. Think of as many ideas as you can and write them out. Just write them out and try to think of 20 per day. This is called brainstorming, and you will be amazed at how many answers you already have. Now, some days you won't be able to think of 20, but try it. Try to think of 20. And some of these ideas won't be any good. Not all of them will, but some will be very good and should be investigated further. And some will give you everything you want. But you got to give yourself the time and you got to give yourself the space, and you got to make this important to do for yourself. You see, all your time is already accounted for. You'll have to say no some of the time that you're using to say yes to something else. That could be maybe not watching Netflix all night or something along those lines. Review the ideas and decide which one or two you're going to put into action today. The more you repeat this activity, the more you will realize how many ideas, how many solutions you really have. You are able to do more than you think you can. But when you start changing how you think, you will know you can. If you have any questions and you need some support in what I'm sharing with you here, feel free to email me at abeale@anthonybeale.ie. And if you want to know more about how to work with me, you can request a link for a discovery call, and you can shoot me an email to abeale@anthonybeale.ie and we can get that organized. Have a great week, everybody, and I'll see you back here next week at 1 o'clock, where I'm going to talk about programming beliefs and goals using visualizations and affirmations next week. So, what we're going to be doing, the first part of these conversations has all been about awareness, then getting focused in on how we want to be and what we want. And now we're going to program it into the subconscious mind. Have a great week, everybody, and I'll see you back here next week at 1 o'clock. God bless you all. Bye bye.